Hello everyone, welcome to Code Unwrap. Today we will see how retrofit works using Kotlin. So here we'll create one demo which will fetch one get API using retrofit. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. First we need to get the URL from which we'll fetch the data. So let's get the URL now. I've searched JSON placeholder API in the Google, and as you can see, we are getting some results of it. So let's open the first one. And here, as you can see, we are getting some options of URLs. As we can see, get is there, post is there, put is there, many are there. So we are learning how to make a get request. So let's open this. And as you can see the result here, this is our whole JSON response, which we will fetch right now. So this is our URL from which we will fetch the data. Now let's get back to Android Studio and add the dependency in build.gradle. So let's open it, and here we will add the dependency for retrofit. Let me tell you from where you can get the latest dependency for retrofit. Let's go to Google and search retrofit Square, and as you can see, the Square open source website has came arrive, and from here, as we can see, the implementation part is also there for retrofit. And if you scroll down, here we'll get the dependency part of retrofit. Just copy this and paste here. So in the latest version, you can write the latest one, which is 2.7.1, and with retrofit we also require JSON dependency to parse the data. So let's add that too. And if you scroll a little bit up, you can see here JSON dependency is also available. Let's paste it and add this one, 2.1.0, the latest one. And as we are working with latest dependencies, so do not forget to add compile option, which is we are adding under Android body. So please add this compile option with version 1.8 and sync this. So now we are ready to code. Now we need to make one model class, which is also known as data class in Kotlin. So I'm making it from a plugin which is very useful to making a data class. If you are not aware of this plugin, I'll tell you how to add this first. You have to go to File, Settings. You can see Plugins option is there. And in this plugin, you can see many plugins are there. You need to just search, make sure you have selected Marketplace here, and just try to search JSON to Kotlin. And as you can see, this is the plugin which I've already installed, so it is showing me installed. Otherwise it will show you like these buttons install. You can install it from here easily. Okay, so now we can create a data class by using our plugin here, Kotlin data class file from JSON. Here we need to put our JSON output. So this is our JSON output. I'll just copy this and paste it here. So as you can see, it is already formatted. If it's not in your case, you can press this format button to format this JSON. You can write the class name here. I'm writing it as my data, and I'll just click on generate. So as you can see, two classes it is generated according to the data, and I'll go to my data. It is created a normal class here, and the my data item here, it is a data class. So I can also directly use this data class. We do not need this one. Okay, now let's create one Kotlin interface where we will declare our get request. So this will be our API interface, and we are selecting it as interface. So this is the way you can make an interface in Kotlin. And here we will write our get request. To write a get request, we need to make a function. Let's suppose I'm naming it as get data, and this will return a call class of retrofit. Make sure you are selecting this retrofit option, and this will be of type list of my data item, and this is my data item is nothing but a data class which we have created using our plugin. And why we have taken this list? Because as you can see, we have a list of data here, because in this array we are having list of items. So that is the reason we have taken a list here, and all the items are in our data class. To tell the retrofit that we are using get request, we need to make sure that we are adding this annotation here. This is our get annotation, and in this parenthesis part you have to add the endpoint of your URL. Here in this URL, as you can see, this is our base URL till .com, and this is our endpoint. So we need to add this endpoint in our get parenthesis. Okay, so this part is done. Data class is also done. Now we have to just write the code in main activity. Please make sure that I'm not using any architectural pattern like MVP or MVVM. I'm just using a simple main activity to fetch the request. I'll make future videos for that reference. Okay, so now almost 50% work is done. We have just created one interface and one data class. Now we will write some code in main activity to fetch the data. Let's create one method name as get my data. Press Alt Enter and you can create that function easily. Now in this function we need to make a retrofit builder object. So let's make that. I am making one variable as retrofit builder, which will have the retrofit dot builder object. Now we need to add the converter factory in this, and we can add JSON converter factory, which we have added the dependency for. JSON converter factory dot create. Now we need to add base URL for this. Now what is our base URL? So as you can see in this response page, we are having one URL. This is nothing but our base URL. So let's copy this and let's make a constant variable with name as base URL, and let's insert that URL into this, and make sure you are adding this slash here, otherwise it won't work. So let's add this base URL into our base URL method. Now we will use build function, and after build we have to use a create method which will take our API interface as a parameter, where we have declared our get request. So we have to take the reference of this API interface, and how to take a reference? By using class.java. If you don't know what is the meaning of this class.java, you can watch this video. The video link is in the description. In this variable, we will have the retrofit builder object. Now we will create one more variable to get the data from retrofit builder. So let's name it retrofit data, which will have retrofit builder dot get data, and this get data is nothing but what we have created in our interface. Let me show you. In this interface we have created the method get data, which will be having the response from my data item. That is, in the my data item, as you can see, body, ID, title, user ID, everything is there, which is we are getting from the response. And one more thing I need to tell you, that make sure you are writing the keys same as you are getting the response. So here I have written body, ID, title, which is same as these ones: user ID, title, body. The spelling should match properly, otherwise it won't work. And if in case you want to make the variable names different, so you can use one annotation known as serialized name. In this serialized name, you can add the parenthesis and write body. So it will check that if we are having any keys in the response named as body, and you can write this as like my body if you want. You can name it any variable and it will not check from here, it will check from the serialized name. So this is the advantage of this annotation. But as of now, we are not using this annotation, we are just using body here. So as of now, we are getting the data properly from retrofit builder object. But now we need to add one more method which is known as enqueue method. In the retrofit, in this variable retrofit data, we are adding one method which is known as enqueue. And in this method, we need to pass a callback of object. So you need to write it like object callback of retrofit like this. Or I must tell you, there's one shortcut of doing all these things. You don't need to write it manually. Just delete this all and press Ctrl Shift Space. I repeat, Ctrl Shift and Space. If you're pressing this, it will automatically generate all the code for you. Just press enter. And as you can see, the whole code is got generated for us, object callback, and it is overridden with two methods, on response and on failure. So whatever the response we are getting from the URL, we will get the response in this response parameter. And whatever the failure message we are getting, we will get in this T variable, which is a throwable type. So now let's remove these to do and write our code here. Now we are making one variable as well, response body. This one hold our response dot body. And as we are not using any recycler view to print the data, I will just show you to print the data in the simple text view. And in the next part of this video, I'll show you how to show that data in the recycler view. So as of now, I'm showing it in a simple text view. So till here, we have got the response body in this variable. Now we need to fetch the response body data. So we'll make one for loop here, and we will make a variable as my data, and using in variable, we can fetch the response data from response body. Now it is showing us a error here because it might come as null. It is saying that. So we need to make it null safe, so we can use non-null assertion here. If you don't know how this works, you can watch the video in the description related to null safety operators in Kotlin. Now in this my data, we are getting all the data of response body. Now we need to just append the data in the text view. So to append all the data in the text view, I can make one string builder object, my string builder, and this is how you can create an object in Kotlin. So we have created one object for my string builder. Now we need to just use this object and try to append the data from my data dot. As you can see, body, ID, title, user ID, everything is available here. So we can use as ID here, and we can append all the IDs from the response into this my string builder object. We can also add one new line operator here, so that our response will be a bit of clear. Now after this loop, we need to just add this string builder into our text view. So by default, we are having one activity main XML file here. Let's go to it. And as we can see, we are having one by default hello world text view in this activity. So we will add one ID here as txt ID. Now navigate back to the main activity, and after this for loop, now if this is in Java, we can easily write, we have to write the find view by ID, and then we need to write a text view dot set text and all those things. But in Kotlin, there is a fantastic feature known as synthetic binding. By using that feature, we can directly use the ID of the text view. So what is the ID of our text view? Which is txt ID. We can copy this and paste it here. And now by using text method, which works same as the set text in Java, we can directly set a text like this, my string builder. That's it. It has reduces all the unnecessary code of Java. And here, if you want, you can add one log statement which will tell you the error if there is any. We can use this t variable message here, and in this tag you can add the activity name. Now this code is completed. This is the only code required to fetch the data from a URL. This semicolon is not needed in Kotlin. Now let's try to run this project. I'm sure it won't look good, but at least we are getting the idea of how to fetch the GET request in Kotlin. Activity is launching now, and the application got crashed. Let me see what happened. Okay, it seems we haven't add the permission for internet. Let's add it. Go to manifest file. I just forgot to add the permission for internet. Uses permission internet. Now let's try to run the same code. So here we can see all the IDs have came in the response. So because we have used this mydata.id, so we'll see the further videos on that, like how to show these all the things properly in the recycler view. But as of now, for the beginner part, I've shown how to fetch the data and use it accordingly as per your convenience. I hope you have found this video useful. Please subscribe to this channel and let's meet in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye.